Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the analysis or update or no, yeah, analysis is the word of the Siversk Front. So Siversk Front, from the last time we really looked into this location, pretty much has a lot of things changed, mainly in the southern part of Siversk. So this is Siversk city, and maybe some will call it town. I like to call it city because it's the biggest town here, and this is actually the prime objective of the Russian forces. However, the Ukrainians have put up a tremendous defense in this region, particularly at Verkhovno-Okanyamske. So Verkhovno-Okanyamske, at Spirne, which is here. This is at Spirne. There's also very good defense at Ivano-Darivka, which is actually a defense in depth, and they have pretty much also held or kept the Russians busy at Berestove, and there is also this location is called Vyimka. So this location is Vyimka, and this Vyimka, and they've also defended. Sometimes we actually see fighting reported over here, but of course I don't think that the Russians actually managed to come to this place. Probably just around here, and they got engaged by the Ukrainian forces. So when they say fighting at Vyimka, I don't really think the fighting is here. It's actually more like here. So the Ukrainians also are currently under tremendous pressure from the south, as the Russians are pushing on northward from what is this place called, Bilohorivka, and they are also pushing at Berestove, and this place is called Vesele. Vesele. So Vesele, and the Ukrainians are putting up a defense at Vesele, just off Bilohorivka, and the most significant of all this push is actually at Rozdolivka, where the Russians are actually making a major push towards Rozdolivka, and this is actually very threatening, because there is this entire chain of settlements from Siversk all the way south through to Rozdolivka, and it's along this seemingly like a river thing, or along the railway line, and this is also what I call the Siversk line. This is actually a next line of defense for the Ukrainians. So should this line fall, the next line of defense is actually here. This is actually the next line of defense. So can draw, so, or I draw like that, yeah. So and as you can see that this entire distance is actually quite far. If this is 5 kilometers, this is around 10 kilometers. So the front line all the way to the Siversk line is actually 10 kilometers, around 10 kilometers far. So for the Russians to actually attack Rozdolivka means that the Russians, if capture this town, they can actually cut northward. So they can actually don't attack here. They can actually don't attack this Siversk line. They can actually push backwards, in this way, and encircle the Ukrainian forces from behind. So this is where the main threat, of the Rozdolivka push is actually the ability for the Russian forces to actually swing northward, and that will actually force the Ukrainians to actually do a withdrawal this way, or at least or maybe withdraw before the Russian forces come, and they will have to give up all these precious territory that the Ukrainians have dug in so well and defended so well. They have made such a good defense around this line, and to give up this line will be such a waste for the Ukrainian forces. So the Ukrainians are definitely don't want to lose this position here, and I'm quite sure that they are sending reinforcement over to this area to make sure that Rozdolivka do not fall. And in fact, we do know that from reports that the fighting over at Rozdolivka has been the most fiercest within this around this region. The fighting here is extremely fierce, and I think the Ukrainians do understand the implications of the fall of this position would be. So the Ukrainians are definitely making sure that this is not happening. However, the Ukrainians might also find it difficult to draw forces into this area further, given the tremendous pressure that Russians are actually putting on Soledar and at Bamuske. So because this area here is Yakovlivka, and the Russians are pushing towards Soledar as we speak, from Yakovlivka region, and this on top of this, we have a lot of things happening in this region where the Russians have gone through here and they attack Serebrenka. They are also putting a lot of pressure on Bilohorivka in Luhansk around here, which the Ukrainians are still making very, very good defense around here. The Russians still are not able to push. The Russians also, in the latest report, have been cleared out of the eastern outskirts of Okamiansky. The Ukrainians have made a good push and managed to push out the Russians. The situation over at Spirne is a bit more unclear. The Russians continue to try to push, but we did not really hear much about it. The concentration now is mostly all towards Soledar region here, or towards the north, where the Ukrainians are making the major push towards Crimea, further up into the forestry towards Dibrova. They're trying to cut the road here, and however, the Russians in the latest information has suggested that they have pushed to the eastern part of Torske, and they are also shelling the Ukrainian forces in the forest, and they are doing their own counteroffensive. The Ukrainians in the forested area here north of Serebrenka has been reported preparing a major offensive towards Crimea. So this is Crimea here, and the Ukrainian forces wanted to push in and attack Crimea directly. So this is what is happening. There is also rumors that the Ukrainians might cross the river here and enter into the rear of the Russian positions behind Bilohorivka. So a lot of things is happening, but should this entire front line here fall because of the Russian breakthrough at Rozdolivka, this will make situation even more difficult for the Ukrainians, because the Siversk line is a lot of settlements, and while settlement seems to be good, but you do not really want to implicate potential civilians around there, or have more buildings getting destroyed, because the Ukrainians definitely are confident to push back the Russians, but the situation here is not so good. Anyway, enough of rambling. I just want a quick update to share about the importance of Rozdolivka and how the Russians could use the capture of this location and do a flank up to cut off the front line to force a retreat into the Siversk line. So basically that's about it. I talk so much for very little. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please press the like button, please subscribe, and for those that are looking for the mapping for this mapping, is now behind Patreon or Coffee. So you need to subscribe to the DPA officer tier of membership, then I'll give you exclusive access to this mapping, to this map. If you do not need the map, then it doesn't matter, it doesn't affect you, because I will still continue to report on the war, via the sit rep, the summary, and also all these arrows videos. and all the other things that might be surrounding the Ukraine war. I will continue to be reporting them. So no need to worry. If you are not using the map, then it's non-issue. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.